Hey guys, welcome to the second vlog. In this episode, we'll be talking about the electronics and software department.
Because we're an experimental team, we want to monitor everything that happens on the car.
We use this information to keep our driver safe, to improve our performance during a race, and to gain information on how we can improve for next year. You could even call this a laboratory on wheels.
In order to measure everything, we've implemented over 400 sensors throughout the whole car. This is actually more than your average Formula 1 car.
With our sensors, we can do things like figure out how much boost power we have left, or if there's an electrical issue with the car. All these sensors and data streams are designed and managed by our electronics and software departments.
Now, Laura and David will explain how all of this works.
Hi, I'm Laura and I'm the Chief Embedded Systems at Forze. I'm also part of the electronics team. The electronics department is responsible for all of the hardware in the car. The hardware in the car consists of three main parts. First, the embedded systems. The embedded system specializes in getting all of the sensor data to one main spot in the car. Secondly, the wiring harness. The wiring harness connects all of the sensors and all of the hardware we have in the car to create a nervous system. Lastly, the powertrain. The powertrain specializes in taking and carrying the fuel cell power onto our drivetrain and our wheels. How do we approach the design of such a system? It all starts with going back to the drawing board. We think about the boundary conditions our system needs and the interfaces we need to provide. Based on this, we design a circuit. With that circuit, we then create a 3D model of our printed circuit board. Once our 3D design is done, we send it off to get printed. And once we get it back, we start soldering and testing it. Once we are done testing the PCB, we hand it over to software so they can work their software magic.
Hi, I'm David. I'm Chief Software Engineer here at Forze Hydrogen Racing. At the software department we have a couple of things we have to do, but the first and foremost of our responsibilities is to build and develop code for the PCBs that the electrical department has designed and implemented. Most of these PCBs we test in our old car, the Forze IX, before we put them in our new car, the Forze IX. We do this to ensure the safety of the system. After electronics has built their PCBs, we at Software Code that, amongst others, gathers data from all the sensors, connects all the different devices inside the car, controls all the actuators, and actually makes the car run. Another responsibility of the software department is telemetry, namely reading out the data from the car at real time, so the engineers can see what is happening inside the car when you are testing. Our car has up to 400 sensors. It generates up to 1.5 gigabytes of data per hour. So all of this data needs to be processed, analyzed and visualized so we can actually do something with it. A part of our new telemetry system is currently being tested inside our old car, so let me show you around. So all of the boxes you see here are nodes. Inside these nodes are the PCBs Electro just showed you, processing and gathering information. We are especially interested in this node, the telemetry node. This node gathers data and sends it via this cable to the antenna here on the roof of the car. This data is then transmitted at roughly 900 MHz. So the data that has been generated by the car and collected by the telemetry PCB is sent here. This is the development kit which receives the data, and its only responsibility is to collect it and then transport it to this. This is a Raspberry Pi. Essentially, it is a very simple processor. It unpacks all the data and hosts it on a web server. It also connects via Ethernet to this router which hosts a Wi-Fi network. This means that any device which is connected to the Wi-Fi network hosted by this router can access all the data the car generates. Let me show you my own PC. So now that all the data has been gathered and stored on the Raspberry Pi, it's time to visualize it. As you can see, everything is still empty right now. That is because I still have to start a script on the Raspberry Pi that actually collects the data. So, as you can see, I've started the script and data is coming in. So to show how responsive our telemetry system is, my colleague Laura from before will pull on the steering wheel and you will see the steering angle here go up and down.
So to wrap it up, our electronics and software department design, build and test the embedded systems, which are the brain and nervous system of our Forze IX.
We do this to be able to keep the driver safe, to improve our performance on track, and to gain important information to improve the car in future years.
If you have any questions, leave a comment down below.
If you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on next episode.